Hey guys, welcome to the MC Anime Podcast. We cover anime, geek culture, Japanese aesthetics, and Asian studies. We are a multi-fandom podcast, and you can expect to hear topics in your favorite hobby or fandom activity potentially. You can find MC Anime on Google Podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Also, please check out mcanimepodcast.com, our website. Furthermore, stay tuned in for another episode.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of MC Anime here. MC here, and today I have another special guest with us today. Nick, aka Zombie Killer on Twitter. How you doing?
I'm doing very well today. How have you been?
Pretty good. Tell the audience a little bit about yourself, what you do, and where they can find you.
Okay, well, my name is Nick, aka Zombie Killer 451 on my YouTube channel and also on Twitter. So, and in case you're wondering, and in the word killer, the two L's are ones, which I know is a little weird and it can be a bit confusing. But what I do is YouTube and Twitch as a hobby. I do anime content, like anime reaction content, and also gaming content, and just talk about my day, talk about anything that seems interesting or that brings up the hype or anything like that. And that's pretty much what I do.
Okay.
And on Twitch, I just play whatever seems fun. If something's new, something new out that's awesome to play or that's really hype, I would try check it out and play it, or just play old school games like stuff from stuff like the old days. I can't really give an example, but yeah.
Okay. So that's good. So that's where you can find Nick. That's what he does. Further ado,
By the way,
this particular episode, we're gonna try to focus on Nick's portfolio of anime. So it's gonna be Nick's anime watch list for this particular episode. So we're gonna dive into his interests, see where he lies, and overall, see if we actually have, Diamond in the Rough type shows that normally don't appear on people's lists too often,
Mm-hmm.
So, what's some of your anime watch lists you want the audience to know about?
Well, I'd say for very underrated animes that I've seen throughout my years. For example, like one of my favorite underrated animes is a anime called The Seraph of the End.
I love Seraph of the End. That was really good.
Yeah, and like I really love the anime. Like I really love the story.
Mm-hmm.
I love the creatures, like the creature designs and the combat and everything like that. But what I love mostly about it is the animation, just the way they did it. Like at first, like when you just look in the background, it's like hand drawn / hand painted in the background, and then like somewhat computer generated for the characters.
Yeah.
And it's the way they blended it all together. It's just amazing. So I would definitely recommend checking that out. It's 24 episodes long. The story for it is good. You may be a little lost here and there, but trust me, it does pick itself up.
Oh yeah, it picks it up. The two different sides, the humans and the vampires.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
So
it's kind of interesting to see how one joins the other side and one joins the vampire side.
Yeah.
Now, that's as much as I want to say, because it actually gets into more, which is basically we had the human faction and the vampire faction,
mm-hmm.
and the factions are in an endless battle for supremacy.
Right.
That's as best version as I can give without giving too much spoiling. So
yeah,
it's actually really interesting. It has slow building up points, but once you reach where they choose sides, you kind of really see the story change a little bit and actually turn to what the final episode's about.
Yeah.
So it takes some time to build it up, but I think it's a good watch overall.
Oh yeah, big time. So that's number one. Number two is which a lot of people may have already heard, but I haven't really considered watching it because it'd be like, oh my god, it's another isekai. That's how I got that's how I got reincarnated as a slime.
Oh gosh.
Well, then, because what I love, especially in that anime, is not just like Rimuru or the main character, aka Rimuru, is like this old P guy. He got isekai to a fantasy world like that. What I love about That's What Cars is Slime is the characters, the comedy, the story, and just the overall adventure that you see Rimuru go on, and in order to protect his people and his city in a way, or his tribe. And it's really good. I honestly really do I love the animation. Like I said before, I love the story, especially about the characters because they're so funny, they're so memorable. Like there has been one character where I forgot their name when it comes to other animes. So I would definitely I would say give it a watch. It's really good.
True, and also that time I got reincarnated as a slime is actually a really good anime for the simple fact that it's literally reincarnated as a slime in the title. So if you want to have one of those titles that just tell you like basically the main premise, that is one of those titles.
Yeah.
But you also have to know that it doesn't really take the usual spin of usual isekai for the simple fact that how you expect a slime to be powerful. Think about it. Like, if you don't give them an ability to make them stand out, you don't really expect much of the slime.
Right.
But Rimuru, when he's actually coined his name, he has the ability Predator. And we see this in, like, the first episode. Predator allows him, to copy aesthetics of other creatures and maybe objects that have been eaten by him. So his ability is like a glutton-related power-up, like Mario eats the flower and he has fire on him and stuff like that. So it really goes back to the old what you eat is what you are kind of thing. Yeah. So in Mimuru's case, it is true. What he eats is what he is. Because he can turn into that as well.
Yeah.
That's for transformation, though.
Yeah.
But, after gaining all these different abilities, he's able to come up with a list of like 50 different abilities just by absorbing other people's power. But all become him because of the simple fact that their abilities are now his abilities. So it's one of those people that you can just all of a sudden add powers to your resume as you go. With ease, with relatively ease.
Right.
So that's what I like about it. It doesn't focus too much on the regular trends of isekai, but just more of, what's the hypothetical situation that Rimuru builds his own country for his own kind. People that are misunderstood, and everything else.
Yeah, basically just misfits.
Yeah. The misfits toys.
We're all misfits. If you guys want to know what that's from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Yes.
It's from an old. I know it's not an anime, but it's an old cartoon. It's an old Christmas special that we used to watch when I was a kid.
Oh yeah, no, we still watch it from time to time.
Same.
So yeah, I think I'll give a score. I will commend you on that time I got reincarnated as a slime. Okay. So I will commend you on that one. Let's go to the next one.
Alright, a next one that is also kind of underrated is By the Grace of the Gods.
By the Grace of the Gods. Alright.
Yeah, so it's basically it's another isekai one, but it's a very laid back isekai. So it's obviously you do have another OP character, but there's no action, there's no action, there's no evil person to it. It's actually a very good relaxing anime to watch with your family. There's no cursing, there's no blood, no violence. Well, there's some bit of violence here and there, but it's just basically about a kid. I forgot what his name was. It has been a while, but he just lives in the middle of the forest, living with slimes. And these slimes aren't intelligent. Like they're somewhat intelligent, but they don't speak. Like Rimuru, they're just plain old slimes. But the kid, the MC, he has the ability to tame slimes. So he studied these slimes through like the past 30 years, like past like 15 years of his life, and he knows everything about slimes. So and he was able to create two new ones, which is scavenger slimes, and then there's cleaner slimes. And basically, what cleaner slimes are is basically a built-in washing machine, but slimy. And then the scavenger slimes basically collect dirt, and they're able to fertilize and all that good stuff.
Wait, I think I've heard about this one.
Yeah, it's a very, very relaxing anime for you.
I think I've heard about it because they go on the different slimes do different things.
Exactly, yes.
Okay, what's with you and slimes?
I mean, like, I'm not like, that's like those are the last two things that has to do with slimes. That's it.
I mean, why do you put slime back to back though? That's kind of weird.
I don't know.
You don't know, but you wanted to put them in the slime order. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I just say it's a very good one to watch. Now, I think this is my. I think it's actually I have two more. This is one more and one more and one more and that's it. Like just two more. Another one is called A Restaurant to Another World. And like I'm not sure if you heard of that one, but it's basically a chill anime about food. Like I love my chill relaxing animes when it comes to like at times I do love animes with story. Don't get me wrong. But like at times I just want to like after watching an anime that's like but like let's say for Shonen for example, I've seen like oh my god it's hypeness and exhaustion and like tears and emotion and all that stuff. I just want to watch an anime that's very laid back and chill just to like get a little break. So and Restaurant to Another World is definitely one of them. Again, it's just about basically what the title says. It's a restaurant that goes to another world, and he feeds all these like mythical creatures and all that stuff. So, and I really love the characters. You get to see their stories as the episodes go on, and it's just about a laid back anime that you should definitely check out.
Okay. I have heard Restaurant of Another World. Is there another isekai?
Technically, yeah.
I mean, technically, yes. Do they go traveling because they have the secrets from the other world? Or does that how that work?
Yeah, it's basically the door has the ability to transport to parts of the fantasy world.
Okay, but that's not isekai. That's not isekai.
Well, it goes from place to place. Like it goes to the moon, then it goes back to Earth, and then it goes back to like like a fantasy forest where there's elves and fairies and all that stuff. And goes to another part.
I don't know. Just because you go to a different world doesn't mean it's isekai.
Okay.
Because
well, it's basically on the isekai list. Like I looked it up. It's
I mean, okay, I'll take it at that, but it's like isekai-ish to me.
Yeah.
It's not like full on isekai.
Yeah. And then the last one I would say is Chivalry of a Failed Knight.
Chivalry of a Failed Knight. I think I heard about that. What's that one about? I think I heard about it.
It's been a while since I've seen it, but it's basically about a guy who gets outcasted by his family because he's not strong or he doesn't have the ability as his family does. So he gets abused, he gets cast out from his family because he's different and all that stuff. But his grandfather, who's a very famous samurai warrior, said, "Hey, it's okay to be different. Find your own style." And so that's what he did. He made up his own style. So that he went to the school trying to become a knight in order to get recognized by his family. And all that stuff, and like his story is so great. And there's this other girl, I forgot what her name was because it has been a while. But basically, they share the same room. Like a boy and a girl share the same room. They both do have had feelings for each other at first. Then they started hating each other, and they started loving each other again. So. It's very good. Like I love the animation style. The characters are very funny and very memorable. There is some ichi into it, so just let you guys know. And yeah, I'd say give it a watch. It's really good.
Gotcha. Now, You got more on the list?
When it comes to underrated animes, that's pretty much it. But I want to go to my all-time favorites. I would say maybe this is overrated, but I have to say it. Naruto has always been my number one favorite. It's the first anime that I've ever seen when I was a kid, back on Toonami, and I just and it was during the Rock Lee versus Gaara fight. I was like, oh my god, this looks so cool, it's so awesome. So, and back then I didn't know what anime was. I thought it was just like another cartoon. So that was on Toonami / Cartoon Network. So, but then as I rewatched it years later, I was like, oh, so this is an anime. I was like, okay, that's cool. So, but I love Naruto so much because the characters are just the characters are so memorable. I love Naruto's story so much. Like he's basically outcasted by the village because he has a demon fox inside of him, which basically could have easily destroyed the entire village. But
And the monster inside him, official term is Jinchuriki. They host the Bijus with inside of them. Bijus are the most 9 of the dangerous spirits that lies around. They just wreak havoc on the villagers. Considers weapons and all this other stuff.
Exactly. Yes.
And I believe division of Bijus and villagers having them was after the second Shinobi War, Great War.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
Second Shinobi War.
They started negotiations, and
Second Great
Bijus
Ninja
were
War.
used as one negotiation tool.
Right.
Even though they
Right.
bring on peace, they still had a third Shinobi War, and then
Exactly,
a fourth Shinobi War, which can we really call that a fourth Shinobi War?
It was during the Third Great Ninja War.
Yeah.
It was basically when it basically happens in Shippuden as the Third Great Ninja War,
Mm-hmm.
but the second one is in the beginning of Naruto.
No, Shippuden towards the end is the fourth Great Ninja War.
Oh, I thought it was the third.
Yeah, because
No,
the third Shinobi
right.
War was
My bad.
Kakashi's generation.
Yes, you were right. My bad.
Yeah, with Minato and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So okay, yeah, Naruto's a good list. I mean, it is on it's on a lot of people's list, so you're not the only
Yeah.
one.
Okay, except for people might think it's overrated and be like, "Oh, great, we have a Naruto Reaver here." So which I do understand.
I had to give Naruto because I did a couple blogs with Naruto. I literally just did the eyes of Naruto because there's so many eyes.
Yeah.
So I had to take that into account. Like, well, if I'm going to do all these episodes about these series about eyes, I guess Eyes of Naruto is one of the weird entries in that list.
Yeah.
So,
sorry, go ahead.
so it really goes to show you the multitude that the series had on people, even though Boruto is like going downhill.
Oh yeah.
The anime's actually decent, I should say.
But
But the anime's not bad. The manga's just moving way too slow.
Yeah.
So that's why it's 100+ episodes, because they had to make their own OVA content.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which is not terrible. I mean, the author's now writing 2 different stories.
Right.
Like, because he has to give them a story, so, they give them a plot, and then they design the characters, so it's like, you're trying to look backwards, but you're also looking forwards. But since the manga's moving so slow, you kind of get into that aspect, well, when's the manga going to catch up with the anime? Or will the manga ever catch up? That's the thing, because it's only been like once a month.
Yeah.
You know.
So yeah, I mean, I tried my best against Boruto, I just couldn't, for some reason. So,
It's a lot of filler, I do admit that, but it's not a bad watch. I've been watching it every other episode. So
Yeah.
when it comes on like Mondays or something like that, I watch it, and then, lot of times before I go to work in the morning time. So I watch it, it's like, oh, okay, cool. I don't want to miss this episode, so let's make some time before I go to work.
Yeah. So there's that. My second favorite anime, Berserk. 1997 version.
Okay. So you're into the dark fantasy. Interesting.
Exactly.
Medieval historical anime.
Sorry, keep interrupting you.
Oh yeah, you're fine.
I do love my dark fantasy psychological animes. Like those are my besides I have a kind of genre list. Like I have isekai, then dark fantasy slash psychological, then shonen, and then sometimes some romance, and then etc. 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 So I love Berserk so much because you just see this guy, and you guys know what Berserk is. It's basically about tragedy. It's about a survivor named Guts who's been through so much, and he was born from the corpse of his dead mother. He was then rescued by a camp prostitutes, and then she died of the plague. Then the camp leader Gambino took him over and was just constantly abusing him over and over and over again. And then he killed him in self-defense, and because he couldn't handle the abuse anymore. So he went he basically just killed him in self-defense. Then he ran away from the mercenary camp, and basically became a lone survivor pretty much half of his life until he met a band leader named Griffith, who is another group of mercenary camp called the Band of the Hawk.
Yeah.
And they go on massive adventures, and they survived so many wars and battles, and they single-handedly ended a 100-year war. So, but Griffith, he's a very complex character, but you just love him so much. You love how creepy he is.
Yeah.
You cannot stop but to like him / hate him in a way.
Yeah. And another thing with Berserker is not only the dark fantasy really fuels the entertainment and the demons, the psychology, and the supernatural, but you also dive into medieval Europe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
A lot of times with historical anime, they put it as a storyline. With Berserk, it's it's not even a storyline. It's literally integrated into the entire story. It's literally where it takes place. So you have some reminiscence of medieval events during that time. That's why it's also recognized as the historical anime as it is. And, funny enough, when I was doing a panel of different anime genres, historical anime was really interesting because there's so many different types of historical anime.
Yeah.
Because you take war of any scale and any magnitude of different time periods, that's historical. Most historical is like medieval Europe, feudal Japan, and sometimes you have the Chinese origins as well. But and the Dark Ages as well. That's also another one that comes up a lot too.
Yeah.
But it really tells the story of what that period. Well, what it's mostly used as a case study to say, yes, this is medieval Europe. This is some historical events that may be accurate, but not everything is accurate because it's original canon. If it's not original canon, it's not part of the story necessarily.
Yeah.
So now that's probably what historical fantasy stops in the historical genre. So I will commend Berserker for that. I really like that aspect too.
Yeah. There are a few other historical animes that are pretty good. Like Villain Saga, for example, is a good one. I've seen half of the Villain Saga, and I really do enjoy it.
And Inuyasha is like half modern, half feudal Japan.
Yeah, Inuyasha is another good one. I think that's pretty much. I think that's the only historical animes I've seen. To be honest. Oh no, Blade of the Immortal I've seen as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another good one.
So it really goes to show you that the different genres impact what you watch sometimes. And Berserker, FYI, disclaimer, is very gaudy, very gory.
Yes, guys. If you guys look into watching / reading Berserk, it's very gory, very graphic, but
grotesque.
Just the panels and the art and just the story is just fucking fantastic.
Oh yeah, you can't really get like to the nitty gritty gore without Berserk coming to mind, and other ones like Ultimate Hellsing and all this other stuff too.
Yeah, I actually want to take a quick moment to rest in peace, Kentaro Miura, for giving us Berserk.
Yeah.
So I just want to give a moment of silence for him.
So.
Alright, thank you.
What is the next one on your list?
Let's see. The next one on my list. I'm trying to think. My Hero Academia is another good one. Like I haven't seen the new season yet.
MHA.
I really need to get back watching it, but seasons 1 through 4 is amazing. Like obviously there are some fillers here and there, but seeing Deku's or Midoriya's like journey is great. I love all their characters and I like how each quirk is different than everyone else's. So I love how creative they went into it.
Yeah.
But my favorite season of all time is season 4 because that's during Overhaul and you meet Mirio, and who's my favorite character in all of My Hero Academia. So
okay.
Besides Todoroki. But what I love about season 4 the most is that how the story between you see a very similarities between Deku and Mirio. They both want to save this one kid from constantly getting tortured by this psycho who. And honestly, I'm gonna say this. I side with Overhaul what he was trying to do. Like he was basically what he was trying to do is he's saying there's too many heroes and villains in this world. There's just too many. So he tortured this little girl, basically breaking her atom by atom, piece by piece, in order to create this bullet or this needle that takes away a person's quirk permanently.
And this is another thing that My Hero Academia does really well at. They really do character designs that are not necessarily the quote-unquote antagonist, they're most like the anti-hero. Stain, for example. Yeah. Justice for all, should it still be the way it is, and should you not do your own thing? Should you always conform to society? Overhaul, you have, an X-Men mentality, should X-Men exist? Should we be all over the place with the powers that we have? Should we just have peace and not have these problems? It really does take on that aspect as well, which I really like. It's now after the 4th season, I do want to admit that it kind of declines a little bit, but the decline is, it's pretty much evident after certain events happen in the show that kind of makes, All Might to Endeavor trying to be who he is, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, I don't want to go into it like that.
If you guys have never seen My Hero Academia, please give it a watch. It's a good one. It's a good shonen one.
Yeah. It's what we take on American heroes if they actually became what they are.
Exactly, yeah.
If everyone in the world, most of the population had these powers, what you going to do with it? Are you going to be a regular hero, or are you going to be like a hero, just a person with powers in some office?
Yeah.
Because even if you're not passing the hero exam, you can still be lots of different applications for the particular power. Let's say, I don't know. Oh, here you go. Let's say something as minuscule as making paper. Think of the applications of that ability. First, you can make the paper, you can sell the paper. So you have an endless supply that literally gives you free domain.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're able to counter the entire paper market, well, guess what? Why would they cut down the trees if they can just go to you, get cheaper paper cheaper?
Mm-hmm.
So just think about it that way. Something as simple as that has a big impact too.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't, not every ability is like that, but it just really goes to show you which quirk you have. If let's say you have a body and building opponent to your power, well, maybe you want to have body building element in a physical labor job. Maybe they'll give you more endurance and give you more aspects in that endeavor.
Mm-hmm.
So it really goes to show you that, imagination to the beholder, how you use it.
Yeah.
And My Hero Academia does pretty well to discuss different options, how to utilize powers.
Yeah. I mean, look at Muriel. Like, his quirk was just phasing.
Yeah.
Like, he was able to train his body to work around it and to make it to his advantage.
Yeah.
So I love that.
Even a regular quirk that might not seem like as useful, if you train it enough, you can adapt your fighting style in with that ability.
Yeah.
So, and also this is any anime. If you adapt your fighting stuff with the skills that you already have, then you can make your own fighting style. There's plenty of anime with unique fighting styles and characters that utilizes those techniques.
Yeah.
So what's the next on the list?
Another one that I really did enjoy, at least for the first season, One Punch Man.
Oh yes, One Punch Man. Another parody of the heroes. You just like going in chronological order, don't you?
Yeah. Well, what I love about One Punch Man is that the struggle that One Punch Man, aka Saitama, goes through. Like, he's trying to find that one opponent that he can never beat with one punch. And at the end of the season, he did find that opponent. But what I love about One Punch Man is just the music. I love Saitama's theme. Especially, I love the theme song in general. Just the like the. I love the theme song for that one as well. And I love everyone's design. The animation is really good. But I just love how he can just defeat his opponents with one punch. I just find that hilarious.
Yeah.
So it's a very again, it is a kind of shonen. I think, is it a shonen?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so it is a shonen one, but it's a good kind of shonen. Like, there's no tournament arc. There's no like there are villains, but again, they all get defeated with one punch because of Saitama.
And
so
one big
watch.
caliber that One Punch and My Hero Academia does. My Hero Academia is Japanese version of American heroes. Right. One Punch Man, however, is a satire of the hero comic genre as a whole. What that means, a satire in this case, is you take one application, like, say, Superman. Boom. You bring him into One Punch Man. Well, what One Punch Man would do to Superman is make fun of everything that is Superman and actually just degrade him as a character. Just full down, just put him in and just rip him apart and build him back up in a way that's not Superman anymore. That's what One Punch Man does. That's the only way I can really explain it, because there is a parody of the hero genre, basically.
Yeah.
They're acknowledging, yes, you have your heroes, but like, here's a entire show where the protagonist is so overpowered that he's just trying to find a worthy opponent, and everyone else beneath him can't even compare.
Yeah.
Now that's how you handle a overpowered character.
Yeah.
The Saitama he has no motivation. He's just trying to do it.
Yeah.
And have these villains coming in, as much as they each are different, they still can't face a finger to him.
Yeah. Like he's just so dead in his eyes because he has no
He's bored.
No,
He does.
he's bored.
He's
Exactly.
bored. He did all the training, and still, literally, he's registered as a C-class hero because he didn't do the work.
Yeah.
But he's actually an S-class hero because of his abilities alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it really goes to show you, if you really think about it, Saitama in One Punch Man is like a standalone show that's like more meaning than other shows.
Yeah. I enjoy season 1. A lot of people give season 2 a lot of crap, like a lot of shit, because like if we want to see Saitama just beat people up, but how come they're showcasing our heroes? And I know some people really want to see that, they showcase these heroes, but we don't know anything about them. I want to see more of them, and like for me, I did like we were able to see more of the characters, like more of the heroes, like the S-class heroes. But I really want to see Saitama at least beat people up, at least beat villains up as well. So and we did technically get a tournament arc, but it wasn't anything really eventful because he was just so dead, and like he wasn't really having that much fun. And he was just trying to figure out the secret or the history of karate or more martial arts, basically. So,
Yeah.
I mean, so season 2 is okay, but compared to season 1, you can't really beat it. So, if you guys want to give season 2 a try, you can, but I recommend just sticking to season 1. And then just, if you guys want to read the manga, you can,
Yeah.
go ahead. So,
And also with
All right.
Saitama, it's a nice short anime to watch.
it is. Yeah.
And I think each episode is like standalone.
Yeah, it's like 12 episodes or something?
Yeah, like it has like a brief continuity connecting other episodes. But that's it. It's
Yeah.
not like this overlapping story. If you miss like 4 episodes, you're gonna miss everything.
Yeah.
Sometimes the anime does that, and it's like, why am I watching? Why is he here? What?
Yeah.
That's what I tell people. If you're gonna try to skip it, be prepared for spoiling. They're gonna just mix it up.
Yeah. Alright. My next one is Hunter x Hunter 2011 version. And it's basically about a story about a kid named Gon who's just looking for his dad.
I mean,
he
Hunter
goes-
x Hunter, both of actually just depending which year it came out.
I said 2011.
Mm.
That's for me. It's the best one.
True. You know,
So,
usually these animes are.
Yeah, like so. If you guys want to know the quick little history on it, it's basically about a kid named Gon who has been training day in and day out. Not like Saitama training, but no, he's been like heightening his senses, basically trying to become get ready for the hunter's license. Basically for the hunter license. And because he wants to get his license in order his hunter's license in order to go find his dad, because that's what his dad did. Like his dad left his family to go become a hunter at the age of 11, and he was able to complete his goal. And now he's out there traveling the world and all this other stuff. So Gon basically wanted to follow in his father's footsteps. So, and you meet all these characters. You meet Killua, you meet Lelorio, you meet Kurapika, and who are basically his best friends, especially Killua. And just seeing their like chemistry seeing Go's chemistry with everybody is just so great and just so much fun, and just it's just so much fun. It's just a very, very fun anime to watch. There's no fillers in it whatsoever. So
yeah. And also another thing with the actual episodes on it, each version, well, I mean, it's not like it's Naruto and Naruto Shippuden in this case. It's more like Hunter x Hunter. It was just put on hiatus and then got back after they resumed the anime count. But 2011 was pretty good. And they also 2014 version was just the continuation of the 2011. Yeah. But I think it did really well in that particular area because the building up is always what people will go to most of the time. Like Dragon Ball, Naruto, all of that, they remember the first season most of the time. Even Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters. Usually those are the ones that like hit the peak popularity, and that's where they have the old fans resonating with that genre.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where that comes into play. But with Hunter x Hunter, I really like. There's not only Gon's dramatic character development with different characters, it's also his go-lucky, carefree attitude.
Yeah.
He doesn't really bat an eyelash when it comes to problems. If it's a problem, he deals with it. If not, he puts it off and then deals with it another way.
Yeah.
And he has lots of aspirations. He wants to become an Hunter x Hunter. Well, since the name. But it has like a double meaning. Hunter x Hunter. If you really think about it, what are they hunting for? He's hunting for, in the father's footsteps, to be a pro hunter. And then maybe, if he gets to have the hunter exam, maybe he'll have access to information to know what his father is. So it's really chasing your own, making your own destiny, and actually meet that final goal. It's more laid back when it comes to goal setting too.
Yeah.
So it really makes you enjoy the show a little bit more too.
Yeah.
So that's why I like Hunter x Hunter. It gives that different carefree attitude that not every character has, but apparently Shonen likes to replicate a lot.
Yeah.
So.
Like, I especially love the world building in it as well.
Yeah, the world building is really good. You don't really start seeing it more until after the Hunter exam.
Yeah. But it's still a really good watch. It's like my friend of mine is actually watching it right now, and he's really enjoying it. So I'm glad he is.
So.
Well, this is an anime movie, if that's allowed here.
It's anime watch this.
Okay. Spirited Away.
Spirited Away is really good.
Yeah, it's a Miyazaki film, aka Studio Ghibli, and the story, I love the designs of each spirit. I especially love the story. It's just a little girl who I forgot what her name was, but she's voiced by Devane Chase, who is an amazing actress. She's also the voice of Lilo from Lilo and Stitch, which is my favorite Disney show movie of all time. But we're not here to talk about Disney. So, but she does an amazing job. Just her acting in it. She's dubbing over the sub version.
Yeah.
But she does it so well. She's really following the lip movements perfectly well. Her acting in it is really good. And especially the animation. The animation in it is so well done.
Yep.
And especially the world building is really good too. So.
And there's two things I can say about Spirited Away. One, I did a really interesting perspective with the hero's journey in a film appreciation class. I did Spirited Away as that main focus. Because, the hero's journey, you had the hero go on a journey, and you had the villain along the way, beat the bad guy, overcome obstacles, etc., etc. So it actually follows that story trope. And then I also referenced in, I think, an episode last week, Asian Studies, Shintoism, and Japan.
Okay.
Spirited Away takes the folk Shinto, which is like the spirits and the deities and stuff, and that's the type of influence the supernatural from the spirits is from the folk Shinto side of Japan. And folk, Shinto is like folk, secular, and shrine Shinto, but this is mostly folk in that regard.
Yeah.
But yeah, the supernatural is really well done, and it actually makes it a really enjoyable story, because now you run away, try to get your parents back to be not pigs, and then you find out that the evildoer is actually the one you first meet, so you had to go back to them. It's just, it's basically you don't judge a book by its cover. You don't know who you meet until you meet them and get to know them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of what Spirited Away reminds me of a little bit.
Yeah.
You meet the owner of the bathhouse, and she's actually the antagonist in a way. So if you know, it's one of the other characters you first meet, and you start working in the bathhouse, and not everything seems to be the way it is, and you figure out why, and then you try to fix it.
Yeah.
So I'm a really big fan of Spirited Away, have a really good connection with it, and overall, the animation is lovely. You can't really, even when it remastered, you know what, I'd rather watch it in the original version than remastered. It's just something about it captures that essence.
Yep, I get that. I love all Studio Ghibli films, you know, because like I love what Studio Ghibli's like messages mostly is just about just the characters, like the characters and their story, but also about the power of nature. Like majority of Ghibli films is all about nature, and the connection that we used to have with it. Now we're basically just destroying it, and it's basically what we're doing with it is wrong. And like nature used to be beautiful, but look what we're doing to it now. You know, constant forest fires, like cutting down trees, basic extinction of animals, like poaching, and everything like that. It's messed up.
In a spiritual way,
and Studio Ghibli has a really good message saying that hey, this is what nature used to look like, but all that stuff, you know.
Not only the appeal to nature is really high, but also moral lessons as well.
Yes.
You know, it's the people along the way. It's the what we take for granted, or maybe we should be driving for our dreams, like Porco Rosso, for example, trying to be a pilot for an airplane and do stuff like that. So, Studio Ghibli, the reason why it resonates with so many people is because of the simple fact that it connects to you on a personal level that other projects I don't know if they do purposely, but Studio Ghibli tries to capture those Disney-esque moments in you. But it's an anime, so it's totally different how they do it compared to Disney.
Yeah. I really do love. Disney did helped with majority of Studio Ghibli movies.
Well, awesome. Disney was a distributor.
Right. Yeah.
They were the distributor, but they didn't have the rights.
Yeah.
But they did help with the distributing, and that did help sell those movies. So, what's the next one going on?
Let's see. I'll say the next one will have to be. Well, it's not really an. Well, I wouldn't really see it's an anime. It's more like a Western animation.
Oh boy!
But it's called RWBY, RWBY.
Yeah, I love RWBY.
So, it's made by a series. It's made by a person named Monty who sadly passed away. I think like 3-4 years ago.
And
I think five and a half, 6 years ago.
The company that has access to is Rooster Teeth.
Yes.
The independent animation studio that it's owned by Crunchyroll. So.
Yes. So basically it's about a character, which I know is going to get confusing, but a character named Ruby Rose, Ruby RUBY, not RWBY. So I know that can be confusing at times, but she and her sister Yang Xiaolong basically go to a school, a beacon, and meets the rest of her classmates, Vaishni and Blake Belladonna, and they go on missions together and all that stuff, and their chemistry is so good. At first, when you first see it, the animation is kind of a little wonky at first. You're like, why is this
video game animation?
Like but again, this was from 2013, so it was an indie animation. Like he did have a team, but he mostly did the animation himself. So so you can tell that you easily see that it's very very low budgety and kind of a little wonky at times, but it does pick itself up. So it will pick itself up as the seasons go on. But as you continue with these seasons and the story, you realize there's something more deeper going on.
Yes.
And the main but the, when you realize that Ruby isn't really about the team itself, you know, Ruby Rose, Vaishni, Blake Belladonna, and Yang Xiaolan, but it's basically about a person named Ozpin, which is basically, you know, the Wizard of Oz,
Yeah.
Ozpin.
Yeah.
It's basically similar.
Yeah.
And a girl named Salem, who is basically immortal.
Yeah. So it really, you know, remember, we have these hunters. They
Yes.
are able to hunt the Grimm. The Grimm are creatures of dark that came from ancient times, and they always prey on humans. So the hunters are the safety net for the Grimm to protect the humans.
Right.
Well, another thing that's really interesting, go back to the animation. The animation was a video game animation, so it's like mostly 3D with CG alteration. The reason why the advantage of that animation actually can do well in this particular series, yes, at times it can be a little weird to see it, but like when you actually go into fighting sequences, you get a lot of detail in the fighting sequences. Now, you don't get the frame by frame like you do all traditional drawing animation, but it really does shine when in the fighting scenes. You actually see the character blending and moving, and seems like they're in like a feather pattern that's like, I don't know, doing the tango. You really you see details that you don't typically see in normal anime fighting scenarios. Now, that being said, the animation, you get used to it. It ain't that bad that it's distracting.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's still good quality in what it did. And a lot of times I like about Ruby, for example, they're like 10 to 13 minute episodes.
Yeah.
Sometimes they get 6 minutes.
Short.
Yeah. They were short, but they had a lot of... It didn't feel like they were that short. Like, they had a lot of detail in it. They had... the pace of the story was really well done in the limited time frame of the show. Of the episode, I mean.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Ruby didn't really do, like, episodes. They did part 1, part 2, part 3. I think. Yeah. They did different... Yeah. They did, like, a part this, instead of chapters. So, I liked it. It did really well for what it's meant to... what it was trying to do. And it gets a pass. So...
Yeah.
What's next on the list?
Again, it's another Western animation, but it has anime aspects and such anime style to it. Avatar: Last Airbender.
Favorite animated series? I don't care what you tell me. That's my favorite animated series.
My man.
That's my favorite because I don't know. Like, I don't know, martial arts with the elements, with the Chinese elements as well. Mm-hmm. Just kind of give me a different view of the world. It was a really good timed anime. Not anime, animated series.
Yeah.
But...
what I love, you easily see, you can easily tell how much effort and energy they put into the show.
Yeah.
For the creators, like they did so much research on each part of the world.
Yep.
You got the Chinese, Chinese martial arts, or is it Japanese?
No, it's Chinese.
But yeah, Japanese. My bad. Japanese culture.
Yep.
They have northern culture. They have southern culture. And all this other stuff. They also have Earth, I'm trying to think what's Earth. Let's get Earth one. I say UK, like Ireland. I would say. Yeah. I don't really know what the Earth Kingdom would be like.
Yeah.
But just the way they did it was really good, and they actually studied these martial arts just to get it right, which is cool.
Yeah. And the videography for the martial arts.
Yeah.
They actually hired someone to do all the different stances for the elements and the individual fight scenes.
Right.
They basically, they took a karate master who had to not only come up with signature moves for each different stance of each element, but also be continuously using each stance in each of the fights. So they only had one person doing this, but this one person would be doing all the fighting movements that they would animate.
Yeah.
So they put vectors. So they did vector technology to basically animate it better because it actually became more authentic in the fighting sequences.
Yeah. Let's say fire, for example. Fire is aggressive.
Yep.
Water is more go with the flow kind of style. Earth is more
determination, willpower, brute
willpower,
force,
and air is all about defense.
Yeah.
And balance and all that stuff.
Yep.
So I really love how much effort and how much effort they put into it. And what I also love about After Life, no matter how many times you watch it, it still feels like you're watching it for the first time.
Oh yeah, and when I was watching it, I have a fond memory from my brother. We would watch it. I would watch it every day it came on. It was in Nicktoon in the summer.
Yep.
But here's the problem. I would be watching it out of order because each day had different run times of the different old episodes.
Yeah.
So I actually caught up watching it all out of order. So if it was a particular episode, I would always check when it came on if I seen that episode. I put a reminder for it and watch it. Doesn't matter if I didn't watch it or not. I watched it. Yeah. Sometimes I recorded it and I also try to do it that way too.
Yeah.
So I think that was so much of impact that I actually bought the disc set, the 4-disc set, and I actually started watching that again.
Nice.
So I bought it for my brother's birthday, but then I also got access to it too, so I started watching it again.
Yeah. But I also love my all-time favorite character in the show is Iroh.
Yep, I like Iroh.
And rest in peace, Mako. But just the way I love Iroh so much because he really felt like an old man. The way he whoever wrote him, and wrote his lines or he came up with his lines himself. Mako was so memorable and just so well done and just. He felt like he legit felt like a role model to everybody.
Don't forget, he's a legacy character. He was in the spiritual guide to Korra.
Yeah.
So he came even after his afterlife. He's still helping the Avatar.
Exactly. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
But that's in Legend of Korra. It's a sequel to Afterlife Airbender.
Yeah. Funny thing with Avatar. I've been exploring a little bit was, what if Naruto became the bodyguard of Azula? So he gets banished from Konoha and boards a ship and he washes up in the Bending countries. Konoha was referred to as the elemental countries at the time. Now, has he seen the last of Konoha? Not yet. Yet to be seen. But that's with her speech. Don't worry about that. If you watch, you watch 33 videos of an Avatar and Naruto fan fiction on YouTube, you will remember it too.
Yeah.
But I would really like having that. It's oh, well, this is a great fan fiction. This is better than other ones I've read.
For example, I just looked it up, Iroh quotes, and let's look if I can be really quick.
Yeah.
So, and I like to do it in his voice. I do an okay Iroh impression. So, good times become good memories, but bad times make good lessons.
Oh my gosh, you sound like him. What the heck?
Yeah. So it's just actually, I'm trying to find out a good one really quick.
I love Iroh.
It is important to draw wisdom from many different places. Let's see, I'm gonna do one more. Alright, here we go. Here's a classic.
Oh, gosh.
Sharing tea with a fascinating stranger is one of life's true delights.
Oh, gosh.
So, I just love...
An
like,
Iroh
it's
maniac over here. Literally.
Again, like, guys, please, if you guys never seen Outlaws Bender, it's on Netflix. Please treat yourself. Treat your whole goddamn family to this amazing show. It's good for all ages. Kids, teenagers, adults, even elderlies. Please invite your whole family and just sit down and watch it together.
And don't forget,
so good.
100 years of a continuing war. It has that element.
Yep.
You know, I always wondered if it actually become more bloody, would the story still be interesting?
Ooh,
Avatar was one of those things like, wait a second. If it's like Berserk, I might still thoroughly enjoy it.
yeah, actually, yeah.
If the world building of Avatar was with Berserk, I'll stop everything to watch it. And binge watch it too, and watch it again.
Yeah. Again, like, many people think, like, oh my god, it's a kid's movie, and there's, like, these, like...
No, it has a lot of psychological themes in it.
They talk about very serious situations.
Yeah.
You actually do see dead bodies in this show.
And it's, you know... The fan fiction was kind of like that version that I just said.
Yeah.
Or if it became more, like, teenish, but more warlike scenario, because Naruto was the paragon of the Fire Nation, and the paragons controlled the Avatar state. That's kind of what the lore of the fanfic was, but it was so integrated into each one. It's like, that's interesting.
So, yeah, again, seriously, just go watch it. It's amazing. And let's see, I have one more. I'm trying to think. I mean, it is a bit long, and I know a lot of people may not get into it. Fairy Tail.
I mean, Fairy Tail ain't that long. Naruto's longer.
It is longer. But, like, I don't know, like, there's some fillers into it that you're gonna figure out how to skip. But Natsu, he's my favorite character in it. I love how crazy and, like, like his quotes, like, he does get a bit annoying at times, but you do get over it.
Yeah, imagine motion sickness as a weakness.
I'm fired up now.
Motion sickness. He can't be on any vehicle. Gosh dang it.
So it's a running gag that the show has, and there's a reason why he has that motion sickness.
Yeah.
So they do talk about it on why they have it, on like why every Dragon Slayer has it. Because it's not just Natsu. There's multiple ones. Like there's like 6 or 7.
Yeah, it's usually the second generation, first generation, and third generation.
Yeah. So again, you may think it's slow, but it does pick itself up, and the characters are very memorable. I love the animation, love the music. So give it a watch. It's okay.
And the different arcs for it, you know, gives it to a really good lore. It drives home the notion that we're a fairy tale, but we're a family. We are family first, friends second.
Yeah.
And when you come here, anyone's accepted. Doesn't matter who they are, we will accept them because that's what we stand for.
Yep.
We are independent. You be yourself. And overall, family above house. Bonds, the power of bonds is like really intangible in that guild.
Yeah. So again, like it's a good watch. Again, it may feel like it's slow, but I think it has like 200 episodes or something like that. So
it also begs the question: does fairies actually have tails?
Yeah.
we don't want to answer that one.
They never answered it. No.
Yeah. They mentioned it several times, but they never actually, quote unquote, answered the question.
Yeah.
But that's one of the appeals of the show. You have really powerful characters. They all even the villains stand out with them.
Yeah.
And they have this entire backstory, which is also good too.
Yeah. like I forgot. I'm trying to remember what his name was. Not his brother. I don't remember what his name was. Something with a Z.
Zexel, no.
Yeah, something like that. And
Yeah.
like he just wants to die. He's a
Yeah,
and
he's
cursed
cursed.
and he just
Yeah.
wants to die. But he can't unless he has his brother with him.
Yeah.
So.
And he's
Yeah.
particularly made Natsu to be the reality ender for him. So
Yeah.
I don't want to say too much because
Right, yeah.
kind of really bridge the line. But the show is really well done into supernatural lore, power-based, action-based sequences being drawn. They're not super drawn out. You do have battles that go like 2 or 3 episodes. But also at the same time, not only do you have one battle to focus on, you have like 2 or 3 battles in one episode sometimes.
Yeah.
So it makes it, when you draw it out like that, kind of gives it more variety.
Yeah.
So.
And yeah, and that's what I gotta say about Fairy Tail.
Magic is key. How much magic you can use, and different types of magic at that.
Yeah. Like, people only can use summon magic, a lot of people can use fire magic, a lot of people can use hypnosis magic, love magic, there's a, what else is there? Card magic, there's a lot.
Yeah.
Lightning.
There's all kinds of stuff you can do with it.
Yeah, there's a lot. So, another one that I do have like a few more, if that's okay.
Sure.
My Full Alchemist Brotherhood. Like, what can I say about Full Alchemist Brotherhood? It is a masterpiece. I love Edwards and his brother's story. The second episode, the first episode, a lot of people say just skip it, but the second episode or the third episode, it's dark, like extremely dark, and you feel really bad for her, feel bad for the daughter. So if you know what I'm talking about, have you ever seen Full Alchemist Brotherhood?
Yes, I have.
So you know what I'm talking about.
And Brotherhood does follow manga better.
Yes.
The original problem with the original FMA is that the manga wasn't done. They kind of rushed it and went to their own OVA scenario, gave an alternate ending, and Brotherhood got more sales and more attention because it was closely related to the manga. That's probably the best selling point to them. I watched both of them. It was kind of weird to do that because typically
I saw Full Alchemist first.
Yeah.
When it was around on Toonami.
Yeah.
But then a friend of mine saying watch Brotherhood. I was like, fine. So I watched it. I was like, yeah, this is way better.
I don't know. It's like different fight scenes they added looks done different. You know, you actually get more of the storyline better. In a way, you also, like, the homunculi arc really changes everything. That's when the main differences come starting and happen and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Ichiban, War, all that stuff, Scar. You really get different perspectives of them. So, I mean, I can't complain about Brotherhood, but Brotherhood delivers.
Yeah. So,
what's your last two?
The last two, Demon Slayer.
Okay,
so
there's not much to say about Demon Slayer.
I was gonna say I love the animation. The story is kind of hit and miss. But I love the chemistry between Nezuko and Tanjiro. I also love the chemistry between Zenitsu and Inosuke, which is besides Rengoku, Inosuke is my favorite character. So I just love how crazy he is. He's always battle ready. He's so intense, and I just love how he's fucking beautiful. So under that mask. So what I was gonna say about Demon Slayer, it's a good show. Please watch it if you haven't already. You especially love the animation. It's a beautiful piece of work. And then lastly, which I just finished watching actually today, I binge watched it. Ranking of Kings.
Oh yeah, Ranking of Kings is a new one.
So I love Ranking of Kings. A friend of mine saying, Nick, please watch it. It's amazing. You'll love the story, you love this, and this. I was like, fine. So I watched it, and I was like, okay, you're right. This is great. the animation style is nothing I've ever seen before. Like, I've seen something similar to it, but nothing like this. So the animation style is definitely different than any other animes you may have seen before. You may have seen something different, like similar, but again, nothing like this. You'll like, I cried multiple times during the story, especially for the main character Boji, because Boji is deaf and he's also a mute, so he can't speak. Like, he makes sounds, but he can't speak like an actual sentence. So and like, you feel bad for him because he's not strong like his brother. Like, he's not strong. He's a weakling. Like, people just feel like people think he's a weakling, you know. Like, but at times you see that he does have strength inside of him. So he's very good at defensive. Like, he's extremely fast when it comes to defense and everything like that. So, but when it comes to offense, he can't really defend himself until
pretty much
until later in the show. So I would say just give Reign of Kings a chance. Please watch it. I cried multiple times during it. It's great.
Yeah, Reign of Kings is one of the newer anime this year that been popping in popularity in 2021. So it's a good, nice watch. Even though, you know, Crunchyroll Anime Rewards has it high in some areas, I think it has a good potential. It has a good chance to maybe turn up more fans.
Yeah.
So this concludes Nick's anime watch list in some capacity. You know, 2 honorable mentions, not anime, but still relevant. Keep in mind that this is what he does, this is what he breathes. Support him on YouTube. Watch the blind reaction videos of him doing different things. Twitter, all that. You know, where can they find you?
Yeah, so again, guys, if you want to see my social media, again, my name is Nick, aka Zombie Killer. It's zombie and then KI11ER451. And if you guys want to over my channel and you go to the About Me section, you can see all the links to my Discord, to my Twitch, and also to my Twitter. If you guys want to check me out and follow me, go right ahead. I'm just doing YouTube and Twitch as a hobby. So, but again, if you guys want to say hi, come on down and say hi. You can do whatever. I'm not telling you what you guys have to do. It's your your life. You can do whatever you want. But I just go with the flow. If you guys want to subscribe, that'd be awesome. But again, if you don't want to, that's cool. But again, thank you so much, MC Anime, for having me. And this is my first podcast ever. This is my first ever being a part of a podcast. So it felt very, it was definitely memorable. I feel very honored, and thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
It was really good to have you. And before we conclude this episode, I want to thank Nick for being here today. And don't forget to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart Music, and also Amazon Music as well. Please follow us on Twitter at Mason Colon, MaisonCollawn. Also, Blog MC Anime at Blog MC Anime, BLOG, capital M, capital C, capital A, NIME. That's where you can find us. Don't forget to support us on Patreon with Enjoy the Fellow MC Animator community, where you can vote, upload, suggest ideas, give cover art, and also maybe even be a guest on the show. So stay tuned. We have more MC Anime content coming up. And don't forget, website's coming out soon, so we will have that launching pretty soon as well. Thank you, Nick. Thank you for being here. You were really a blast. And maybe they discover a little bit more about yourself and your anime taste.
All right, well, thank you.
Enjoy, guys. Thank you so much.
This concludes another episode of MC Anime Podcast. MC Anime Podcast is available on podcast directories like Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and YouTube. We also have our website at mcanimepodcast.com. If you want to directly support us, then follow Patreon blog MC Anime. Finally, if you want services for hire, then we're available on Fiverr for audio and video production, graphic design, idea consulting, and blog and article writing.